Conor Coady, of course, is coming on in just a second's time. And a massive weekend, really. Chelsea coming back from, 2 goals down, I think they were in the end, living with them. And it means, really, their season. They're 8th at the moment. So this could be a really strong end to the season, but they've got a lot of work to do in those final games. A very good morning to Conor Coady.
Good morning, Laura.
Good morning.
Morning, Conor, mate. First of all, thanks very much for taking the time to come on this morning, mate. We really appreciate it.
No, anytime. No, I look forward to it.
You did go into training early, didn't you? Is that true?
Yeah, but I'm always in training early anyway. I'll give you a bit of stick, really, so I'm always in early. You know the score, Darren. I'm sure you was as well, mate.
Yeah, I was always there 2 minutes before training started.
Connie, I was looking at Connie. Who's Connie? Conor, my mate Connie. Conor, I was looking at interviews that you were doing this weekend about saying that you kind of feel sometimes that Wolves have been a bit underestimated this season. Do you feel like that?
Not necessarily underestimated. No, I think it's been something where we've kind of gone under the radar a little bit, how we've been playing. Listen, the last few weeks for us haven't been good enough in terms of how we've been playing, the results we've been getting, how we've been performing. It's not been good, and we've had a long, hard look at ourselves in the past couple of weeks to say where can we get better and where we can improve. So I think we've gone under the radar a little bit, but listen, it was important on Saturday. We tried to get back on track and with a good point at Chelsea.
It was a great point at Chelsea, mate. And looking at the fixtures coming up, you might just have a big say in where the title goes to.
Yeah, the gaffer spoke about it yesterday, to be honest. We've obviously got a huge game coming up tomorrow night at Mourinho under the lights against one of the best teams in the world, if not the best team in the world. So it's something we're all really looking forward to. We're looking forward to it as well because of the results we obviously got on the weekend, but it's in 3 games left and 2 against the best teams in the world, so we can't wait for it, yeah.
Conor, would you take a lot of confidence, as you said, from the result against Chelsea? Because before that, we know you'd lost 3 on the bounce. But did that show the kind of spirit that goes through that Wolves dressing room, getting that point away at Chelsea?
Without a doubt, I think, mate. I think it was more, not necessarily the result, but I think the performance. I think we spoke about it all week. Like I said, the previous weeks hadn't been good enough from our point of view. We spoke a lot in the week about what we needed to do. We all looked in the mirror at ourselves to say we needed to improve and get better. And I think that's what we've done, because performance is the biggest thing. A lot of people speak about different things, but performance for us was all we were thinking about and going there to try and perform well. And luckily we've done that. And like I thought we probably deserved a little bit more out of the game in terms of the chances, because we give away a mad 5 minutes where it was a couple of mistakes. Teams like that hurt you, but to come away with a point at a tough place like that was really good for us, yeah.
Looking ahead to tomorrow, Molineux hosting Manchester City. Since you came up to the Premier League under Nuno, there's been times where you've managed to get the edge over Manchester City. You've almost known how to do it. How do you think you approach this game tomorrow to win?
Defending well, defending as well as we can, being compact, being together, and staying in the game for as long as possible. I think a lot of teams, other than the top 2, would probably tell you the same thing, because they're so hard to come up against. It's so hard to get the ball off them at times. And listen, you want to go into every game and try and keep the ball and have as much possession as you can. But I think we understand the situation when you're going up against 2 of the best teams in the world, and sometimes you may have to play a little bit of a different way. You have to be resilient, you have to be determined, you have to stay in and be compact and defend properly. And when you have the ball, try and affect the game as quick as possible. So that's what we'll be looking at. That's how we're looking in terms of going into the game. But we're really looking forward to it. It's a massive game. It's a huge game, and playing at Molineux under the lights anytime is fantastic for us.
And that defence, that's something that's been quite strong for you this season. You're 4th in the Premier League, 4th best defence in the Premier League. What's that down to, do you think?
And we're really proud of that. I think it's down to the manager, to his staff. I mean, we brought an incredible goalkeeper in as well, in Jose Sarri, who's been outstanding all season. He's a fantastic character and a fantastic player in person. But I just think it's not just the back 5 that you look at, the back 3. We defend really well as a team. We're at our best when we defend really well as a team. And I mentioned the games before, obviously, Saturday we weren't doing that well enough, and we spoke about it. So I think it's being compact as a team, defending together as a unit, and then obviously trying to keep as many clean sheets as we possibly can.
Conor, has it surprised you then? Because as you said, defensively you guys have been really tight. But when you look at some of the attacking options that you guys have got, as the likes of Jimenez, I know Neto just come back, Trincao, you've got some really good players that you haven't really been as prolific as you have been in previous seasons.
It's a tough one to answer, to be fair, Darren. It's something where we've spoke about it all season. The majority of our training, 90% of training, is working on offensive and attacking and scoring goals and creating chances. So it's a hard one to put your finger on, but what I do say is that we have total trust in every single player. It's not just up to the players you just mentioned there, Raul, Trincao, Neto, Cadence, whoever that may be. It's up to all of us to try and chip in with as many as we can. Like I said, we're at our best when we defend together, but we're also at our best when we attack together as well. So it's something that's quite tough to put our finger on, but it's not just them players that we speak about in training. We're all working on it as much as we possibly can to get better at that side of the game as well.
Conor, tell me, there's a great story at the weekend where you're quoted as saying a section of the talkSPORT listeners provided you with inspiration for Wolves the fight back. The quote was, I've been listening to people in talkSPORT and hearing all sorts of different things saying we're going to get beat 3-0 or 4-0, and it was doing your head in. See, I love that, because 95% of the footballers go like, nah, I don't listen to this, it doesn't bother me. But you're using that as fuel, mate. I love it.
Oh, I had to, mate. I nearly crashed the car when I heard it. I'll be honest with you, mate. Like I said, I listen to sports all the time on my way home and different things. And it was something where I heard a couple of quotes and my head was chopped with it, mate. I'll be honest. It was something where I come in the next day, I had a little chat to the lads and I said, this can't happen, we can't prove certain people right. So no, listen, mate, it's always tough to hear as footballers. We're still human beings, so it's tough to hear. But at the same time, we understand that when we're not playing well, we open ourselves up to these sorts of things. It's the game we're in. It's the game we're in. We understood we weren't good enough. So yeah, it wasn't just that, mate. Like I said, I said that obviously after because I heard it. But there was a lot of things we spoke about last week, mate. Yeah.
Conor, do you want to air the presenter that said it?
You know what? I think it was on the way home. It was on the way home.
It was Goldstein, wasn't it?
We were doing a couple of predictions on our game in Chelsea and United and Brighton. So I can't remember who actually done it.
Was it Darren Bent?
Conor, it'd be that drive programme, mate. I'm not doing it.
Maybe it was Adrian Durham, actually. Well, he's not here to defend himself. Anyway.
You know what? I'm not going to do that. I can't remember who it was. I can't remember.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. I've got a text that I wanted to read out to you. This one's from Joseph. He says, please tell Conor Coady the goal against Chelsea was a belter, and I hope that they twist the Premier League title chase twice with games against Liverpool and Manchester City. Tell us about the goal.
Yeah, do you know what? It was the feeling of it was incredible. I mean, to score, I think, any last-minute goal, the lads will know obviously more than me. They scored a lot more goals than what I did, but it was an incredible feeling, incredible moment. I think, like I said, I thought it was the least we deserved in the game to get a point out of it. But the goal itself, I actually passed the ball wide, and I remember looking at the clock. It was 96, and I thought, I'm just going to trot forward there and try and follow the ball. I was hoping Chiquinho obviously got on it, because every time he got it, he tended to put a ball in the box, and the cross was incredible, and it only needed really a bit of a touch. So the feeling after it was amazing. Yeah, it was a good point for us.
I think you've been a bit coy there. Yeah. I must admit, when I saw you getting up there, I was hoping you would stay where you were, but you were brave, mate. It was a great header. You were very brave.
I thought you had more trust in me than that, mate.
Conor, just a quick one. We know in your last 3 games you've got City and Liverpool, and I'm interested to find out. You talk about 2 of the best teams in world football, arguably 2 of the best. What makes them so good, and what are their differences?
I think the mentality of both teams. I look at them and I think a lot of people speak about them all the time, and they're like machines. I think everybody knows a role in the team. Everybody knows what each player brings to the team. I think that's such a good quality for both of them. And like I said, I think the mentality to just go and go and go. I was looking a couple of weeks ago, actually, at both the fixtures. Obviously, because we were playing them, but both the fixtures leading up, and there must have been about 4 or 5 games left. And you look at every game, and every game's a final. Yeah. Every single game. I remember looking at Liverpool's and obviously the Champions League, but then we got playing Manchester United at home, and then it was the Champions League, and then it was Everton home, and then you're going, these are massive games, even in a normal season, in the middle of the season, these are huge games, and then you're sticking them at the end and a running, and just a mentality to go and go again. So I just think they're both incredible teams. In terms of differences, that I think they're both different within their own right. Manchester City suffocate you with the ball, and then Liverpool just speed and power. So it's really exciting for us as a team to be playing them both within the last 3 games, and it's something we're looking forward to, but we also know how hard the game's going to be as well. Yeah.
Is there any space in this for you being a Liverpool fan? Is it ever in your consideration at all?
Not at all. Not at all. It's not. You know what? Loads of people mention it to me. Loads of people. It's loads of people I know, because they obviously know that I obviously come up through Liverpool. But it's got nothing to do with it. It's something where every time I go out for Wolves, I don't think about anything else than winning for this football club. I love every part about being at this football club. I've loved it since the minute I walked through the door, and that will never ever change. So yeah, nothing to do with that at all.
100%, mate. Well done.
Conor, thank you so much for coming on. Enjoy training today, and good luck tomorrow.
Cheers, mate. All the best.
Thank you for having me. Cheers. Have a good morning.
Cheers,
Take
mate.
care. Wolves captain there, Conor Coady. Big game tomorrow against Manchester City at Molineux, which could be another twist in a title chase, which has been full of them so far this season, isn't it? So he's great, isn't he?
Yeah, he talks really well.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods, Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.